Less than 30% of our families are without a father in the home.
Come on
that
now.
was by divine. That was by a divine plan to annihilate us. I got to calm myself down because...
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This brings joy to my heart. Because we are unified in here. We love each other in here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We are
ma'am.
all striving together
Go
to
ahead.
be upright to He who originated the heavens and the earth. Is that right?
That's right.
There's been a devastating attack on our families. There's been a devastating attack on our black men. So as soon as they try to rise to the occasion, the enemy snuffs them out. So if you don't think that an underlying hand is behind this master plan to destroy us, then we need to wake up. Is that right? I don't even know where my notes are. I'm just talking.
Go ahead. Teach.
All praise is due to Allah.
That's right.
I gotta find them. But listen, the Honorable Minister, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he set out a blueprint, right? He said, he who gives you the diameter of your knowledge prescribes the circumference of your activity. Well, what does that mean? As we study his books, as we take in his knowledge, as we take in his lies, as we take in his foolishness, we become like him. But there's a man on the scene today that is taking us away from that. But you have to take the medicine. Because if we continue to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, that is a form of insanity. So we can consider ourselves insane if we are not helping to bridge the gap between our thinking and God's thinking, while we have this great man in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is a great warrior. He has courage. He is fearless. And we must take on that character. We must build our own character to remind us and reflect his. We must say to ourselves, I am a God in the making. Say, I am a God in the making. You gotta feel it. You gotta believe it. Because we are living in a time of separation. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it is better to teach separation than it is to teach prayer. And that's a very divine statement. Because prayer is an important part of our religion. Is that right? Prayer is an important part of our way of life. But if we cannot let go of the apron of our forefathers, of our slave masters, we have to let them go. We have to see the Christ as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We cannot look at the Christ as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, cracker-headed white man.
Come on. Come on.
We have a Jesus in our midst. Take it or let it alone. They come after our brother, Minister Farrakhan, daily. But Allah is protecting him as he is protecting us. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said we have three backing us.
That's right.
Him, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and Master Farrakhan Muhammad. We need to take that and run with it, brothers and sisters.
Go ahead.
We need hospitals. Who's going to build us hospitals but us?
Come on.
We need schools. Who's going to build schools but us?
Come on.
But we have to unite.
That's right.
We have to love each other enough to want to unite.
Come on, that's right.
We have to buy black.
Come on.
We have to stop giving our money to the Koreans and the Asians building their communities when our communities are going down. We have to wake up and smell the coffee.
That's right. Come on, Chief.
It's time to take our rightful place as the rulers of this earth. There is no God but Allah.
That's right.
I have perfected for you your religion.
Come on now.
We are Muslims, meaning one who submits his entire will to do the will of God.
Go ahead.
Don't run away from the titles. Run to the title of Islam. Run to the title of Muslim.
That's right.
Allah is separating us from the devil whether we want to be separated or not.
Go ahead.
You can't keep holding on to mama's apron string. You gotta let it go. It's time for us to become an independent nation. It's time for the earth to be filled
That's
Since
right.
it's been filled with wickedness, death, and destruction.
Go ahead.
Are we living in wickedness, death, and destruction?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Trump is working for God.
Hey,
Y'all don't
think
believe
about
that?
it. Think about
But
it. Go
Trump
ahead.
is separating us and bringing us closer together.
Come on.
Because we have nothing or no one but Allah and ourselves.
That's right. Go
The
ahead.
Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, pool our resources.
Come on now.
We need to pool our resources and start forcing ourselves in places where we are not wanted.
Go ahead.
So what if we have to drive across town to the black hair store to buy some hair?
Think about it. Go ahead.
All praises
That's
be
the
to
truth.
Allah.
Go ahead.
I tried to make a quick run the other day, and I'm like, that's the Asians, that's the Koreans. I had to go across the way. But it was okay, because I don't mind giving my money to us.
Go ahead.
Because that's how we're going to build. Right? All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I thank Allah for allowing me to come before the great people of God.
Yes, ma'am.
I thank Allah for just allowing me the courage, because it takes courage to come up here, to come before the man and woman of God.
Speak on that.
So in that, I just want to say about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He has stood the test of time.
Right.
Like I said earlier, he has withstood every trial. He is the man of God. He is the Messiah in our midst. He is the Jesus walking in our midst. And we need to follow and walk with that man. We need to work together. We need to love each other enough to take over our neighborhoods. And I just want to give a round of applause to the FOI for just being out there with our brothers. Thank you for listening to these words. I pray, Allah, that I have said something to touch your heart to come into our nation and help us to build a nation of our own, while the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is in our midst. Thank you for listening. I leave you as I came before you in the greeting words of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum. And now I will bring before you our brother Ansar in the Antelope Valley. Let's bring him on with a thunderous
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
How is the black people in LA feeling this
Fine,
morning?
sir.
I hope we're all feeling good and fine.
Yes, sir.
I want to first open up in the name of Allah, who appeared to us in the person of a man,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
a living, breathing, supreme being.
Come on. Make it plain. Make
In
it
the Nation
plain.
of Islam, we don't believe in spooks. We believe that everything is real.
Everything. Go ahead.
July 4th, 1930, a man showed up in Black Bottom, Detroit. He is the founder of the Nation of Islam. He loves us more than we love ourselves.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He is the Mahdi for the Muslims, and he is the Messiah for the Christians.
Go ahead. Go
He
ahead.
went by the name of Master Farad Muhammad.
Yes, he did. Go ahead.
Remember that name. We thank him for giving to us a Georgia-born black man that looked like you and me.
Go ahead now.
A Georgia-born black man who only went to the 4th grade.
That's the truth. That's the
A
truth.
Georgia-born black man who said when he met his teacher, the only thing that was not in the mud was his eyeballs.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Meaning that he had went through the same trials and tribulations that we have went through. He went by the name and goes by the name of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He is for us the exalted Christ. He is for us that black Jesus.
Yes, sir.
And all of us should get acquainted with this man because he is also the father of black consciousness.
That's right.
Before Elijah was on the scene,
Teach.
we was not talking about say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Matter of fact, black folks were scared of everything white during this
Come
time.
on.
So we give praise and honor and thanks to him. And we can never thank the both of them enough
That's right.
for a man that's presently in our midst.
Come on. Come on.
Did y'all hear me? Yes, sir. A man that's living, breathing,
Go ahead.
in great health,
Go ahead.
He's in Chicago, Illinois, where our headquarters is at.
Come on.
He is the one responsible for sending out 50,000 of these beautiful Bible colleges. Yes. He is the one. He is the one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That brought back this beautiful nation called Islam.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Damn near single-handedly.
Go ahead.
He goes by the name of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir.
It is in their name. Praise be to Allah. Because I'm happy and excited to know him. I've never was blessed to meet the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Never laid my eyes on the founder of the Nation of Islam. But I've been blessed, and we've been blessed to lay our eyes on their star student. That's right. And I pray that we pay close attention to our regional representative.
Yes, sir.
Who represents this man.
Go ahead.
I pray that we pay very close attention today, because we're going to hear a message related to the murder of our brother Nipsey Hussle.
Come on. Come on.
As I was driving into Los Angeles, by the way, the Antelope Valley is like 70 miles north.
Yes, sir.
How many of y'all know people in Palmdale and Lancaster?
Yes, sir.
So that's where we at. So as a matter of fact, let those in that area know that the Nation of Islam is there.
Yes, right. Let them know.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
And let them get in contact with us so we can begin to help them in that area, because there is a mass migration, family, taking place. Our people is moving toward the Antelope Valley. They moving into San Bernardino. They moving into Bakersfield, Lake LA, California City. But the Savior came to save all of his people. And the Savior knows best where to place his message. But as I was driving in, I was thinking about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and what motivated him to say, I'm going to send 50,000 final call newspapers into South Central Los Angeles. Now, mind you, no other black leader.
None.
Because this paper was given out free to our people.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The Sentinel didn't do that.
Come on.
No other publication has done this. What kind of man do we have in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan? He is not just an ordinary black leader. Did y'all hear me?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He is divinely guided by God and the Christ themselves.
Yes, sir.
Y'all didn't hear me?
Go ahead.
We have a tendency to take him for granted because he looked like you and me. And for black folk, we have never been able to respect black authority.
Go ahead.
But we're not looking at an ordinary man in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Sir. No, sir.
We're not.
By no means.
As a matter of fact, we're looking at the manifestation. Y'all ready for this?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Can y'all handle what I'm about to say?
Inshallah.
We're looking at the manifestation of God himself.
Go ahead.
The creator of the heavens and the earth. Why am I saying that about this man? Because in our supreme wisdom, a question was asked. Who is the original man? And those of us in the Nation of Islam know the answer to that.
Yes, sir.
The original man is the Asiatic black man. The maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth. God of the universe. Well, guess what, family? It takes a God to go up against J. Edgar Hoover and bring back this beautiful nation called Islam. Did y'all hear me? Because no other progressive organization ever came back from the sting of the United States of America's government called FBI. No other organization have ever made it through that process because COINTELPRO destroyed every progressive known organization in this country. And what did J. Edgar Hoover say publicly?
What did he say, brother?
He said, I must, and we must stop the rise of what? A black Messiah.
Come on. Think about that.
Y'all didn't hear that.
Come on.
So here we are in South Central Los Angeles.
Right.
On the front line, I want to thank the mighty FOI
Yes, sir.
for covering down. Praise be to Allah. The mighty fruit of Islam. Because there was a melee that took place day one over at the candlelight visual.
Come on, come on.
Stampede, people going crazy.
Come on.
But the FOI came through.
Teach.
And we must show more respect toward the FOI.
That's right. Go ahead.
Because these are the men, like I was telling some of the city officials, 85% of our rank and file come out of these streets.
Come on.
Including myself.
Come on.
Venice, California. I wasn't always like this.
Come on.
I want to thank our regional captain for even being,
Yes,
for coming into Venice, man. The man would come into Venice by himself when he was out there gangbanging and selling drugs and gambling. Brother Halim, Captain Halim. So I told the city officials recently that you're looking at 85% of our rank and file is former gang members. They have the ability to move throughout this city. They are not restricted.
Come on.
Like some of the gang intervention agencies are. So I wanted to say all that because we're dealing with divine things right now. And we have a tendency to take things for granted, but before I leave, I gotta say something about our regional student minister and my mentor, who's helping me in this ministry, man. Minister Tony is not an ordinary man either.
Go ahead now.
Although we have a tendency to take him for granted because he's a humble servant.
Go ahead.
But he's connected to a divine leader, teacher, and God.
Come on.
So that makes him a divine leader, teacher, and God.
Come on.
Here in this region.
Teach on.
How many ministers you know that come out on the front line with the people? How many pastors have you seen any pastors show up?
Come on.
None. Let's fall deeper in love, man. With the man who the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan sent to Los Angeles to help us.
Go ahead.
Stop with all the envy and the jealousy.
Come on now.
Stop it. Let's love him. Let's honor him. Let's respect him. Because he got this whole region to deal with. So with no further ado, I would like to bring up my friend, my mentor, our regional student minister, Brother Tony Muhammad.
I just see an OG here. One of our OGs. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah.
That's right.
To that one who is the creator of all things, to him who is the revealer of all great and sacred truth. Dear brothers and sisters, I don't care how old any of us get to be in this wicked world's life. There is not one individual in this room or under the sound of my voice that can thank Almighty God, Allah, enough. I'm talking about that one who is the creator of everything.
All of it. Come on.
The one God.
Yes, sir.
Regardless to land, label, or title. Brothers and sisters, they but one God.
That's right.
How many of you agree they ain't but one God? Because some of us may not agree with that. And if there's just one God, how did we get so confused today?
Good question.
That from that one God, he loves humanity so much that every time we go astray, he sends somebody.
Come on.
I'm sorry, he don't send them from no cloud.
Right. Come on.
I'm sorry, it ain't no hocus pocus and the cat just show up. Every time God want to give man a favor, he comes in contact with his co-creator.
Yes, sir.
We in the Nation of Islam are taught that the woman is the co-creator with God, not the man, the woman.
Yes, sir.
That every time a people suffers, God finds the right woman that he can put his spiritual essence in that woman, and her circumstances, her prayer to God will be fed to that child. Because that child has been genetically coded and spiritually coded by God, that at a certain time, the spiritual alarm clock would go off and that child would wake up and realize what its true destiny is.
Go ahead.
And whenever God wanted to give favor to man, he never went to a rich woman. Come on now.
Make it plain.
Whenever God wanted a favor, he never went to the middle class.
Never.
Whenever God wanted a favor, just like in the Bible, when Jesus was to be born, the scripture said, can any good come out of Nazareth? See, here you are, just a few years up from slavery. You don't even know what Nazareth looked like.
Go ahead.
Nazareth during Jesus' day would remind you of what?
Go ahead. Teach.
Nazareth during Jesus' time would remind you of the jungle.
Come on.
In other words, Nazareth was the hood.
Go ahead.
And God always went to a poor woman who was struggling under tyranny, under oppression. And he would allow the man to allow his sperm to be used. And that's all he needed from you.
Go ahead. Teach.
Oh, but he, in the quiet of a suffering woman's mind, God would touch that womb and that seed. And from you, you have produced all of the prophets of God.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
That's why I love being in the nation, because if it wasn't for a certain man, I would have been blind to who the black woman is, who the brown woman is, who the red woman is. Because I, like you, was turned inside out and upside down, made a babbling idiot under white oppression. I thank God for Abraham. I thank him for Moses. I thank him for it is proven that God, reflection, and his essence can show up inside of a man. And the perfect reflection of God was revealed through his son or servant, Jesus Christ. What? The nation believe in Jesus?
Right. Go ahead.
Who told you we didn't?
Right.
That's the problem. Huh? Our wicked enemy have deceived the whole world.
Go ahead.
We don't believe Muhammad is going to return. We believe that Christ will return.
Go ahead.
With the God. See? That's what's wrong with us. Our open enemy, the Caucasian, have caused us to gangbang in the name of religion. It's all got to stop.
Go ahead.
So we thank God for Jesus. We thank him for Muhammad. I know, brothers and sisters, due to the Western world, due to Caucasians who knew a time like this was coming, may I today, just for a brief moment, introduce you and walk you back into some of your history.
Please, sir. Please. Go ahead.
This is why they don't want you to come in contact with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They don't want you to come in contact with the Nation of Islam, because God has done something to us and for us.
Come on.
I'm sorry that we don't have the big old beautiful pretty churches, the mega churches where It's mega, it's beautiful, but ain't nothing in it but lies.
Go ahead.
I'd rather be taught the truth next to a garbage can than to be in a beautiful cathedral and being lied to.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I thank Allah that we were told that many of our ancestors who was in the hulls of those ships,
Go ahead.
they were Muslims. They don't want to tell you that.
Go ahead now.
And when we landed on the shores of America, George Washington and some of the founding fathers of this country said to their predecessors, don't allow the black man two things. For if he gets these two things back, they would become trouble to us.
Come on.
This is why they know they took two things from us, and once they knew they had done that, they said we were 3/5 of a human being. That's a fraction of a man. But then, how do I make a fraction into a whole? If it's 3/5, then I need the 2/5 he took.
That's right.
Number one, they said, don't allow them to worship that God that they was praying to in the ships when they were saying Allah.
Go ahead.
Go back and get roots if you don't believe. Then they took our names, our language, our culture, our God. They said, do not allow them to study their history. For if they learn their God and their history and get that back, they would come back to themselves. And once they are to themselves, we will have no control over them.
Go ahead.
But right now, you are plugged into the white man, so he got you on Negro remote control.
Go ahead. Listen. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Brother Nipsey. We about to come up out this.
Go ahead.
I, as a black man in America, I have to thank God that he loved us so much, brothers and sisters. I don't know about you, but I'm glad God gave us a man.
Go ahead. Teach.
But it's just like the scriptures say, we would be so deaf, so dumb, so blind. That we would fulfill the scripture that when he would come among us, we would not recognize him, where he would say, I'm going to my own. But my own would recognize me now.
Go ahead.
I'm going to speak truth into the darkness of their mind, but because I'm black, they don't want to comprehend what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Why? What has happened to your people? They are suffering from the white God syndrome.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
That we don't want to accept nothing that's coming from a black man. And even today, if I'm teaching you the truth, you're going to have to go and Google and find a cracker that agree with me before you go.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I'm honored that God, as it's written in the scripture, where he said to Moses, and when I find them, I'm going to raise one from among them. A man been raised. He's a Georgia-born black man, Sarah. I'm sorry. God ain't going to send you no white man to save you.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
God has never, when people are oppressed, he has never sent someone from the outside of that people to raise them. He always touched the suffering of that person, meaning a woman.
Go ahead.
So God gave us a Georgia-born black man. We know who he is.
Go ahead.
We know him and believe that he is the exalted Christ. We're talking about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Don't get mad. Just reason with me. I know you suffer from so much self-hatred.
Go ahead. Yes,
that I
sir.
got to drill through all of the lies that's been dumped on you all your life.
Oh, come on.
Then I got to wrestle with your emotions because you think you can reason or emotion your way out of this.
Go ahead.
You should be happy to hear that somebody came for the oppressed. And I'm talking about the black,
Go ahead.
the brown,
Come on.
and the red man.
Teach.
Thank you, Allah, for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
That man, Master Farad Muhammad, who came from the east,
Yes, he
he
did.
raised the Honorable Elijah Muhammad
did.
and
Yes, he
taught
did.
him for 3.5 years and left. And then he turned Elijah to a junk pile made by Caucasian people. That junk pile was called niggers or Negro.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And Elijah Muhammad started teaching to the junk pile, and he stood up an exceedingly great army.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Go ahead.
And y'all know when the nation come around, white people act different.
Right.
Y'all already know. Some of y'all be cheering us on. Get them, get them, get them. Because you scared.
Straight.
But Islam removed fear from us of our enemies.
Yes,
That's
sir.
why I'm glad I'm a Muslim.
Go ahead.
That man, Elijah Muhammad, was so wise that his mind became a womb like a woman.
Go ahead. Right. Teach.
And from his mind, he produced a son
Go ahead. Go ahead.
that would rule with a rod of iron. The rule don't mean he would be president of America, but no. The wisdom that he would have,
Go ahead.
he
Go
could
ahead.
rule with that. You can't bend Farrakhan.
Go ahead.
I don't know about you. That's my father. I can brag about my father. I love it that when his name is mentioned, you either love him or you hate him.
Right.
Oh, but the open enemy, white people, when Minister Farrakhan's name is mentioned, it's like in the Lion King.
Go ahead.
When Mufasa's name was mentioned, the hyenas start looking out. Farrakhan.
Go ahead.
White people get scared, and I'm be honest, anything that makes them uneasy makes me happy.
Go ahead.
Well, I want to thank my leader, my teacher, my guide, my Lord.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why y'all looking at me like I'm...
You said it right. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. He just called Farrakhan his Lord. Yes. Shut up.
Go ahead.
You called them crackers over in Great Britain, Lord.
Go ahead. Teach.
You take your black behind in London and they introduce you to a white man and saying he's Lord this or Lord that, and you start bowing.
Go ahead.
They didn't even give you a Jesus in the color of a white man when the Bible said he had hair like lamb's wool.
Come on.
Said his feet was the color of burnished brass.
Think about it. Go ahead.
So I ain't asked you to say it. I'm telling you, Farrakhan is my Lord.
Right. Come on.
Huh? I give him permission to have sovereignty over my life and guide me.
Go ahead.
Because if I could have did it myself, I'd been in better shape.
Think about it.
So in their holy and righteous name, let me calm down.
No, sir. Keep going.
Let me greet you in the greeting words of peace, family. Peace. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
First, brothers and sisters, on behalf of a grateful nation of Islam, thank you for honoring us with your presence,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
particularly at a time like this, when we need unequal guidance.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for taking time out of your schedule
Yes, sir.
that you would come to hear what we know to be the life-giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
I have to personally thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan
Yes, sir.
for allowing me to serve such a worthy people. I thank him. He's the kind of man, brothers and sisters, that when you're in his presence, he's non-judgmental.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
In fact, when I came in the Nation of Islam out of a lifestyle of irrepute,
Come on.
mistreating black women,
Come on.
selling dope to my people, that man looked beyond my faults and saw my needs.
Jeez.
A young black man who hated himself. And then that man would say to me, brother, you're gonna be a fisher of men. Huh? Me?
Come on now.
A man that'll tell you your future, but your own weaknesses and self-hatred will fight against the truth of what a man know about you naturally.
Ain't.
I have to thank him for believing in me and sending me here from Georgia
Come on. Come on.
and guiding me for over 25 years. I've made a lot of mistakes.
Come on.
This is why I love being in the nation. I hate preachers who come around the people self-righteous.
Come on now.
Huh? Like we ain't never did nothing wrong. Like we closer to God than you.
Right.
Oh man, may I keep it 100?
Yes, sir. Come on.
And I thank him for his guidance because he said, brother, I'm sending you to a hard spot. He put his knee to my knee and held my hand and said, brother, he asked me 2 questions. Can you take plenty? And I lied. Yes, sir. You know, being a fake soldier at that time. You don't be a soldier when you first stand up. You grow to be a soldier.
Go ahead.
You don't know all the punkism that's in you until you start meeting.
Come on.
Then he asked me, can you take plenty? When people curse you, can you give them back a blessing? Yes, sir. I was lying. He said, I'm sending you to a place. These people that I'm sending you to, brother, that if you are made out of the right material, and if you are the right board to be placed in that part of the country.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He said, I'm sending you to the black man that's in Los Angeles. He said, LA is one of the 4 legs, cities of which black people's liberation will have to be sustained.
Got it. Come on.
He said, you know why black people ended up in LA? He said, brother, when the white man couldn't break you in Georgia, they would send them to Alabama. And when the Alabama cracker couldn't break the black man, they sent him to Texas.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And when the Texas cracker couldn't break that particular breed of black people, they let him go out west. We would have kept going if it wasn't for the Pacific Ocean. Come on. The nigga couldn't swim. So you and we are the people from an ancestry that they couldn't break.
Yes, sir.
Then he said, brother, at a certain time, I believe on the West Coast, they will fulfill the scripture where it's written, the sun would be seen rising in the West.
Right. Right.
In the last day. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
I just want to introduce you to your destiny.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm like, wow. And he sent me. And I have to be honest. But you know, brother, it's okay because now I understand the song Amazing Grace.
Oh, yes, sir.
How sweet the sound that saved the what?
Wretch like me.
I ain't the only wretch in here.
No, sir. No, sir.
Everything. That's why I said. I said everything. You understand that language?
Yes, sir.
Everything is not big enough.
Right.
Everything. That's a whole bunch of people.
Yes, sir.
How many times have you lied? A lot.
Go ahead, brother.
How many times have you been shot? A lot. See? But everything in front of me is a wretch.
All right, come on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But that's when a God comes.
Come on.
That's right. See? Black people, our attitude, our condition, our love towards one another is like cow dung. But if you place that dung in the right place, it can become fertilizer.
Right.
That can grow strong vegetables or strong seeds or strong grass.
Come on now.
So doo-doo in the right place is good. And you're in the right place at the right time.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So what an honor to be living in an hour like this when there's a sign that the black man and the brown man and the red man is about to come together.
Yes, sir.
So I thank you, Brother Minister. And today, we're here to honor the legacy of Brother Nipsey Hussle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Aramis.
Come on now.
Aramis. His mother told me is his name. He's from African descent. That's right. Eritrean people.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Man. Y'all gonna have to bear with me a minute. I'm in and out of emotion.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Take your time.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna take my time and hurry up.
That's all right. That's all right. Go ahead.
I met this young man when he was a teenager. He's from a street organization called the Rolling 60s. All of this, we're going to give meaning to it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've been trained by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in how to serve poor people, the black man.
Go ahead.
I watched him. He's taking me along with him, and he just say, brother, watch me. Because you know, we are people. All we got to do, show me.
Right, right.
No, really, we are people that if a video come out and we see a dance we ain't seen,
Come on.
all we got to do is see it one time. We got it in New York. We got it in Chicago.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm a minister, but I'm quit walking now. I asked you if I could keep it 100.
Yes, sir.
I'm a blood and a cuz.
Go ahead. Teach.
Because I know the higher meaning of it.
Right.
Yes, sir. Teach.
And that's the part I'm sticking to.
Yes, sir.
But every time there's a shooting that I become aware of in the 25 years I've been here, I don't care what time of night it is, I get out of my bed and I go.
Yes, sir. That's right. I bear witness.
I don't care about no cameras. In fact, when the cameras show up, I ease out.
Bear witness. Come on.
Because I know the fronters are on their way.
Right. About to get
They
crowded.
don't love our people, they just want to be in front of a damn camera.
Teach.
Not all, but
Come on.
I can tell you who ain't.
Robbers and thieves.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
One day, Sister Linda, I see another freedom fighter. So that's Sister Linda. She lost her daughter to gang violence. Now, show your love for Sister Linda. Show your love. Her daughter was murdered.
Take your time.
On the corner of Normandy and Manchester. I came to her side. I mean, to sit there with a mother who's holding her boy with blood on her, and they hug you and the blood is on you. It's a hell of a thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then what saddens me is that when Caucasian children are shot by guns, Sandy Hook,
Come on.
the high school in Denver,
Teach. Columbine.
what?
Columbine.
Columbine, and them white people in Florida.
Come on.
Did you see the love pouring into those areas?
Right.
Even our black entertainers and athletes went to tend to them.
Right. My God.
And I'm watching this. I'm watching them walk right by Shaniqua
Right.
and Miss Hernandez
Go ahead.
to go tend to them. I watch our top entertainers giving to rich people. They don't need no money, but they're giving $1 million to heal.
Go ahead. Go
Ain't
ahead.
nothing to you, Sister Linda. We got to change that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's why I'm glad my leader sent me here. And us in the Nation of Islam. That's our job.
Go ahead.
To go and heal the wounded soul.
That's he is. Go ahead.
To go and help a sin-sick mind.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's about to change.
Come on. Come on.
So one day, Sister Linda, you remember when the police had shot and murdered this brother Devin Brown?
Yeah. Take your time.
And man, I haven't grieved. I just go serve, and now it's like you're feeling the weight of all of those that's been murdered. 25,000 murdered in 20 years in LA County alone. And there's no outcry from no damn government. They ain't sent no plane, no jet, not even a canoe of love.
Go ahead.
Only universal leader that sends love is Farrakhan.
Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
2005, we had protested a year. And in that protest, we protested that the white police officers who murdered Devin Brown used excessive force. And we protested so hard, so strong, that for the first time in 50 years, they found these officers guilty of excessive force on a young black man.
Yes, sir.
It came out in the LA Times. We were on the front page of the LA Times, and Sister Linda and many other mothers in the community walking behind myself and Pastor Logan as we led the charge. And then the next day, I get a call where a member of the Rolling 60s was murdered in a gang shooting. And the mother of that brother called me and begged me, Minister Tony, we need you. My son is laying in the streets dead. Will you come and pray with me?
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
Sister Linda and people like Vicky Lindsay, they all met me and we went to pray for the Rolling 60s hood. Remember the day before, I'm in the front page of the LA Times, a victory over the police.
Come on, think about it. Think about it.
Sir.
We show up the next day on 10th Avenue to dine.
Go ahead.
Sir.
Go ahead.
And as we are praying, all of a sudden, police cars come out of nowhere and almost hit some of the people. And you know, damn it,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I stepped out of the crowd to the cops, and my security stepped out with me, and they started punking a little bit. And I said, officer, you almost hit these people. Is everything all right? And he goes to his gun. He said, get the F back.
Come on. Come on. Teach.
Now you're talking to the God.
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to make myself nothing. I'm telling you how I came to meet this beautiful angel.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because Muhammad don't make no pump.
Come on now.
We don't fear death.
Go ahead.
Death is a pump to a member of the nation of
Come
Islam.
on. Teach.
Because you can't kill me. You can take the body, but you can't get me. I'm in the body, but you can't get what's in it. Some of you, your problem is you care too much about that body.
Come on.
Ain't nothing but a piece of flesh. Ain't
That's
even
it.
worth $35.
That's it. That's it.
But what's in it
Come on.
is priceless. This is why we'll never bury Nipsey, Hussle, Aramis. We're going to put that body in the ground,
Go ahead.
but not him. The energy that was in his body
on
can neither
now.
be created nor destroyed. The energy changes form. All right. So we stepped out. My security started circling the police like we're trained.
Right.
We don't carry weapons, but we'll take yours.
Go ahead. Teach.
Because we're very humble. We are never the aggressor.
No.
But you know what? Black people have never really seen real black men.
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
That's right. That's right. Teach.
And then when we show up real, you can't take it because you don't want righteous men and women.
Go ahead.
Teach.
Let's-
Huh?
Come on.
Teach.
So the thug came out of me a bit.
Go ahead now.
So to be in compliance, I took a half a step back. I said, now officer, I'm Minister Tony Muhammad with the Nation of Islam. I'm a part of the 77 Precinct Clergy Council. He said, I don't give a F who you are. Brother Marcus, you was with me, right? Now, all the Rolling 60s, the gang members now coming out.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Like, uh-oh. Then I said, sir, I'm going to ask you one more time. Is everything all right? He said, no, I'll ask you one more time. You get the F back. I said, I know what. I pulled out my cell phone to call the chief of police at that time, Chief Bratton. I didn't get Chief Bratton, so I got his second in command, Earl Pasinger, Commander Earl Pasinger. I'm talking to him, I'm like, I turned away from the officers, and the brothers flanked the officers with their hand, with their eyes on the officer's gun. That's how we're trained.
Right. Teach.
And as I turned my back to talk to him, I told him what was happening. I said, brother, we're here at a privilege. I did everything y'all trained me to do, but you got some fools out here.
Come on, come on.
He said, minister, turn around and get their badge number. And as we turned around, they pepper sprayed us. And we went to whooping that ass.
Good.
It wasn't us who did it. You know what we did? We summoned God. They pepper sprayed us. We said, Allahu Akbar. And we ripped their clothes off, took their gun, took their pepper spray, and them faggots ran.
Yes, sir.
Nipsey was there.
Yes, sir.
The brothers took me into a house. They had to damn near drag me into a house because that's their job, to make sure they secure their principal. But I want to fight. So they held me down in this person's house. I said, man, y'all, let me go, nigga. Excuse me. I told y'all I got a little thug in me. So y'all, can I just be myself?
Yes, sir.
I'm in uniform today. It's wartime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not with each other.
Right.
You know what we got to go to war against?
Come on.
What the white man has deposited in us.
Right. That's it. GI. Let's go.
So the brothers let me up. I said, I got to use the bathroom. So I said, where's the bathroom? And they showed it to me, and I went out the back door. Security called up with me like, oh, man. And I saw a black officer who knew me. In less than 5 minutes, riot cops was already there, as if this was planned.
Wow. Jeez.
And I saw an officer I knew, the brothers flanking me, and behind him was about 50 riot cops easing up on us. I said, Officer Scoggins, can I talk to you? He looked, he said, man, it's you, Minister Tony? He said, yes, let's talk. And as he was approaching me, the white officers broke rank. And he tried to stop them, and they wouldn't stop. And I said to the brothers, let's just put our hands up. That's what they want. So we put our hands up. You know, they saying, get on the ground. We're like, we ain't getting on no damn ground. We don't get on no ground. We only bow to God. You can take me to the ground, but I ain't bowing for you. And then when they got us in handcuffs, they picked me up and threw me to the ground, and my face hit the ground, cracking all my teeth.
Wow.
And then they start kicking us in our face. And the homies start going off. And I looked up and I said, brothers, stay back. This is what they want. Don't do nothing. We're going to show you the price that we got to pay to save y'all.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And they threw me in the back of a police car. Took me to the police station in less than an hour. Thousands of people was at the 77th precinct. Nipsey was there. And that's how he fell in love with our stance for their hood.
Go ahead.
That they didn't take them to jail. We stood between them, and they took us to jail.
Right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I paid a hell of a price.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
To be at this point today. I don't ask nobody for nothing.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Love you. Love you too. Yes, sir.
That's how we're fighting. We're ready to give our life for your liberation. I'm not asking for death, but if it show up, I pray Allah I don't punk out and run.
Go ahead.
And then I met him a few days later, and he hugged me. He was like, cuz, man, we wanted to kill them crackers, cuz. I said, that's all right. He said, man, I'm Nip, man. What y'all did for us, I'm telling you, you can't do no wrong, homie.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He said, Minister Stoney, that's why we love you, bro. You show up. And you stand up for us. I said, anytime, brother. We do that for every hood.
Go ahead.
See,
Go ahead.
I don't care what hood it is. He thanked me. And he said, I want to learn more about y'all. More about Islam.
Go ahead.
And I recommended some books for him.
Come on. Peace.
And I walked away. I didn't know who he was. I don't know hip hop that I couldn't tell you. I'm OJ's man. I'm sorry. I'm OJ's. I'm Shy Lights. I'm sorry. Write a letter.
Go ahead.
But you know, I'm a P-Funk man. I'm a P-Funk.
Go ahead.
But I'm learning. I'm learning it. My son is an artist, a hip hop
Yes,
artist.
sir. Yes, sir.
My son and Nipsey have done music together. And Nipsey Hussle was going to be a part of our peace ride in June. Because he wanted to honor every mother who's lost a child to gang violence. So my subject today is titled after what his name means.
Wow. Come on.
When I sat with his mother came out of the back room and she saw me, and the first thing she did is say, Assalamu alaikum.
Wow. All praise.
We were blown away. And she said, my son loved the nation. We respect y'all. Well, they didn't say it like that. His brother came and said, man, my brother with you.
Go ahead.
You know, in the hood, that means that's a big thing.
Yes, sir.
You know, we so hard, we don't know how to say love. Right? My brother loves you. He said, my brother F with you. But I was there to console the mother. She was so happy. Hell, she consoled us.
Wow.
And I said, man, and she was telling me, you know, she called him by his real name.
Yes, sir.
And I said, could you tell me what that means, Aramis? She said, that means God will rise.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I got teary-eyed. Then she started telling us she's a spiritual being, she's a seer.
Yes,
Come on.
sir.
Come on.
Sisters, you have that ability.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right. That's right.
And his grandmother is a seer.
Yes,
Come
sir.
on.
Meaning they feel that something is about to happen and it happens.
Yes, sir.
And she shared that with us. And I was truly touched. And then I called the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and he talked to the family, and I don't know what he said, but they brightened up.
Wow.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
And once she said what his name was, I immediately said, that's going to be my subject in honor
Yes, sir.
of Brother Nipsey Hussle, because I'm realizing how much of a spiritual being he was too.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
So, brothers and sisters, I want to take you just through a little journey in case you forgot something about your journey here in America.
Come on. Come on.
You know, but before I do that,
Yes, sir.
I see our minister who was one of our long-standing ministers, OGs, in the Nation of Islam. He's present. And I don't want to go any further until I at least recognize him and his great work. That when I was sent to Los Angeles, I had never been a minister or even a mosque, not even an assistant minister. And my first assignment was a region.
Wow.
I was an evangelist. The minister just told me to go to all the just go to college campus. But this particular brother was over one of our premier mosques in this area, Compton.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about our student minister, Minister Samad Muhammad is with us today. Y'all can judge me so good. in love with each other at first sight because we both country. He from Arkansas and I'm from Georgia. The minister sent me out here, I was like Jeffro Bodine. But thank you for your love and your support, dear brother. And I pray that Allah bless you to have a long living and your seed unborn. I also see a brother who is a Christian pastor who's here when 8 years ago we decided to try to invoke a movement, a peace movement. It's called United in Peace.
Yes, sir.
Where every month, without fail, with the bikers, the lowriders, the Corvette Club, we ride and we stop at 3 locations to embrace mothers who have lost their children to gang violence, a Muslim and a Christian. Because we said we were going to stop the religious gang banging.
That's go ahead.
See? And Pastor Powell, who is a biker, but he's a pastor. And all the sects love him. Pastor Powell, he's with us today. Come on, y'all. Show your love. Show your love. Brothers and sisters, real quick, because at 3 o'clock today, we're going to show you how the nation honors our warriors. We're going to show you in a military fashion how we're going to lift the spirit of Brother Nipsey Hussle. And we want to take in our bosom his spirit, and we're going to beg God to allow us to finish his legacy. That man was with us and died at the same age of Jesus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
33 years old.
Yes, sir.
Huh? In chapter 3 of the Holy Quran, it's called the family of Amram. I'm going to show you something.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Yes, sir.
Then when Jesus, let me keep this straight, because some of y'all think Jesus died a natural death. Jesus was murdered.
Right.
Y'all need to start saying it like that.
Straight like that. Come on.
Because they was gangbanging back then.
Go ahead.
The Jews killed them.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Well,
sir.
now y'all scared.
Teeth.
Come on, baby.
Yes.
Assassinated.
You know, you hate Muslims, but it would Christians, you hate us. We had nothing to do with Jesus' murder, and the Jews murdered him. But if a rabbi come to your church, you break out the best choir.
Come on. Think about it.
And the set that killed Jesus is in your house.
Jeez.
Who ain't got quiet up there?
Give them all our money, too. Come on.
He was murdered.
Yes, sir.
God, why did you allow him to be a part of a group called the Rolling 60s? Because God said, I gave the devil 6,000 years to rule.
Teeth.
That's right.
But after 6,000 years, his rule is going to end. And I'm going to do something to the oppressed. We're going to go into that. God, did you see black people, brown people, and the Native American? Did you see the colonizers getting us? Yes, I did. I allowed it.
Think about it.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Where is it? Let's look at this scripture. In the book of Genesis. In the book of what?
Genesis.
Look at what God said to Abram. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
Come on.
And they shall serve them. And they shall what? Afflict them.
Come on.
How many years?
400 years.
Did this happen to us?
Yes, sir.
Come on now, talk black to me.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
That's why I wanted to give you a picture. We done forgot this, huh? Here's a brother being sold at a plantation in handcuffs, and these are plantation owners. Don't we go before the court like that today?
Yes, sir.
Who's there bidding for you? Folsom? Cochran?
Come on. Think about it.
Depending on the level of your education will determine what prison you go to.
Facts.
You didn't know that, huh?
Come on.
That's why we gotta wake you up, because you become a trick
Go ahead.
to a real pimp.
Go ahead. Teach, sir.
But look at God. After 400 years, and also that nation, he didn't say what that nation was, we in it.
That's right.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance.
Yes, sir.
And thou should go to thy father in what? Peace. Well, the Bible wasn't written in English in first, it was written in Aramaic.
Go ahead.
If this was in Aramaic, they say you would go to your father in Islam.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Teach.
I don't want to be no Muslim. You already is.
Go ahead.
That's your nature.
Go ahead.
We're not asking you to join nothing. Miss me with that.
Right.
Teach.
Can't ask you to join what your nature is. It's almost like asking a cat to join a cat movement.
Go
You're
ahead.
already a cat. Well, come on over here and meow then. Remember, that's the religion they took from you.
Go ahead.
And they didn't want you to go back in that religion because it unplugged you from your strength.
Go ahead.
Look at them beating us. Look at this brother. This is a woman being hung from a bridge in Alabama. We done forgot this.
Go ahead.
We have a bigger enemy on the outside of us. Just show you some pictures of some suffering. 14 years old. What did he do? Look at these white people laughing. This is just a few years ago. You forgot that? See, this is why I respect my Jewish brethren, man. They make sure their children know about the Holocaust.
That's right.
Then they tell them who did it. But when we start doing it, everybody say, oh, let's forget that. I don't want to hear that. Why? What did he do? He was burned alive. Look at them. These people right now is 60 and 70 years old.
Think about it.
I wish I could find one of them.
Mathematics. Go ahead.
I'll show you how to bang.
My God.
That's in the 60s.
Man.
What did he do? And they shall serve them, and they shall what? Afflict them. For what? 400 years. We came to America in 1555. Go look it up. I know you ain't gonna believe me. You gotta Google it, and a white man gotta show you I'm telling the damn truth.
Go ahead.
We came in 1555. We were brought here by a white slave trader by the name of Sir John Hawkins
Go ahead.
on a ship named Jesus.
Think about it.
When that ship showed up with Jesus' name, they fooled us like a Trojan horse. We said, oh, they love Jesus. And then when we got on this ship, they put up the crossbone and the skull and took down the star and crescent.
Wow.
Hold on, hey, where they going? Where the brothers going?
We got sisters that eat these places, right?
Oh, okay, I thought I had said something to offend them.
No, sir. Stand
They're giving up their seat for the black women. That's right. Brother, lock all the doors. Ain't nobody leaving today. You are under arrest.
Yes. Come on.
Yes.
Good to see one of Nation of Islam got some talent.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Good to see my beautiful sister who's showing the black woman that she can rap and keep her femininity.
That's
Go
right.
ahead. Go ahead.
it's full circle because it started off teaching us.
Go ahead.
And the white man saw that and he poisoned it with hatred sound.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Sister Neelan, would you please stand? Our beautiful. Y'all can do better than that. She's showing you how to be a star and she ain't got to take off her clothes. I'm proud of you, sis. I mean, she's doing it with so much class. And ain't taking off no clothes. Because, sister, your beauty is not your body. It's your mind.
Come on.
And if you show me your body, then I'm going to make love to your body, but I don't know how to love your mind.
Go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
which one you want me to make love to?
Oh, think about it. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sister, for representing what you believe. Her husband is an artist and her manager. Oh, I'm so glad you, the husband and the manager. Brother grew up in the nation. Brother Marquise is her husband.
Sir.
And he will hurt you by that broken right there. My son is an artist. Many of you may know him by the name of Kent James.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's in a song with Nip called something rolling. Something me rolling. Picture me rolling. Yeah. Picture me rolling. I told you, I'm OJ's man. And he and Nip was about to go into the studio and make a peace song, an album for our peace rise. Brothers, do y'all see this?
Yes, sir.
That's my son right there, Kent James. His name is Muhammad. Glad y'all over there on the other side. Boy. These are women being hung. This is a woman, that's a man. This woman had just had a baby. Hanging her from a bridge in Alabama. And her son, one of her sons. We're not talking about no 200 years ago. The Klan did this. And we're taught that if we're not careful, do you realize you can fall in love with your abuser?
Come on. Start going.
It's called the Stockholm Syndrome.
Yes, sir.
Sisters suffer from it greatly. As a man, he ain't no good. He beating the hell out of you. When we come to your aid to rescue you, start defending him. He all right. He didn't mean to knock one of my eyes out. Your friend be like, leave him, he ain't no good. That's the way we are with Caucasian people. If somebody say lead him, you like, Wow. Then you'll take on the personality of that which dominates you.
That's right. Go ahead. Teach.
I didn't have it today, but I'm going to send to all of the gangs a letter from the Grand Wizard of the Klan thanking the gang members of LA. But we're going to send that damn letter back.
Wow. Come on.
Letting him know your day of rule is up because we about to come together on you. All right? Now, let's go into this. God will rise. How will he rise? There's a book called the Book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel. Well, there was a son of man in the book of Ezekiel. Let's read it. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones. God ain't interested in no bones. This is a metaphor. This is a parable. Bones give you the kind of attitude people will have. A dry bone, meaning it look like ain't no life in it. Because in the black community, in the brown community, we don't live a lifestyle, we live a death style.
That's right. Go ahead.
See? So God said to him, and caused me to bypass them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, the Son of Man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord God, thou knowest. And again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O you dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Breath. Wait a minute. Our breath. We're not talking about breathing in your nose.
Come on.
The breath that needs to come into the hood, the dry bones in the hood. The breath that needs to come is the breath of life through wisdom, through knowledge, through a teaching.
Go ahead.
Because when you get a word that makes you cognite on who you are, it's like a breath of fresh air.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
The teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we're breathing breath into the bones by giving you a thorough knowledge of who you are. And that knowledge with the right spirit will cause you to get new life. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
And I will lay sinew upon you and bring you up, flesh upon you. Meaning now, I'm going to surround you with others with like mind.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I can't be strong alone. I need a strong brother on my right, a strong brother on my left. I need a strong sister on my right and a strong one on the left. Sinew.
Go ahead.
Because God said, wherever two or more you are gathered in agreement, I am there also. So that's why we in ranks. If I'm weak, he's supposed to make me strong.
Go ahead.
If he see me slipping, he's supposed to say, brother minister, come on now. We don't drink. And I said, okay, let me take this last hit.
Go ahead.
Last one, bro, last one. And I will lay sinew upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you shall live, and you shall know that I am the Lord. So the Son of Man says, so I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a noise. There was a what? Noise. And behold, shaking. And the bones came together, bone to his bone. What noise is going on among black people?
Think about it. Think about it.
There's a man called Farrakhan.
Go ahead.
Or before him, there was a man called Elijah.
Go ahead.
And before him, a man came from the east. And it reads, there was a man going around taking names. He knew who to free and who to blame. So there was a noise going on. Farrakhan traveling stopped the killing.
Yes, sir.
Farrakhan said, million men come to D.C. See, that's the bones coming together. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
And when I beheld, lo, the sinew and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them.
Think about it. Think about it.
It takes a lot to get us up.
Right.
Then said unto me, prophesy unto the wind now. Minister Farrakhan said, brother, you know what the wind means? He said, when God leases the wind on us, it's going to be through white supremacy, and he's going to let his white police officers loose on us.
Think about it.
Since we won't come together on our own, he's going to sick white people on us.
Go ahead.
And they're going to come like a wind to incarcerate us, to shoot us down.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's a wind. Huh? We would see when the white man would shoot us and kill us, right?
Right.
What's that brother's name when they had the riots years ago? Rodney King.
Yes, sir.
We have always come together when a white police kill us. This is the first time in LA that we've come together because of a black man killing a black man.
Go ahead.
First time. Why did God choose the rolling 60?
Come on, teach.
You know why? Because they're in one of the longest wars.
Yes, sir.
that's rooted in so much hatred between them and the A-Trade.
Think about it. Think about it.
Because these bones start complaining, we'll never come together, never. Where don't say nigga, I added that.
Add it up.
But ain't that the talk? Man, miss me with all that peace. Nigga, ain't no niggas gonna come together, never. That's how these bones was talking.
Right. Add it up.
God, how is you gonna get us to come together? I raised the prince.
Go ahead.
I raised the king.
Go ahead.
I raised one from among them, and I raised him like I raised Jesus to 33 degrees.
Go ahead.
This is beautiful. And I brought him up because I told you that we have turned into bestiality, and I'm going to bring you out of the mark of the beast.
Go ahead now.
Because the beast mark is 666.
Yes, it is. Think about that.
It is the number of a man.
Man.
I'm going to take two black gangs that's been in the longest war people never would think. And the beauty is ugly. All murder is ugly, but there's triumph in it if you look at it right.
Go ahead.
Nipsey wasn't no fake rolling 60.
Come on. Yeah.
That's a hitter. I'd go to war with that boy any day. He throw them things at anything.
Go ahead now.
Fearless. But he loved his people.
That's right.
He loved his community. He proved it.
Yes.
Most entertainer talk hood. He demonstrated it.
Go ahead.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So now from the rolling 60s, and because it appeared to be internal, because if it was from an outside enemy, they knew what to do.
Right. Come on. Come on.
But God made it come from an internal enemy, and that's why we in the nation have to be careful, and that's why we're told to settle our differences.
Right. Come on.
Walk around here with hate and disdain from each other because you disappointed about something. God wanted to check you in your disappointment, because in your disappointment, you're going to come into contact with who you really are.
Go ahead.
You'll go destroy the group because you're disappointed. No, really. You can't do that. No matter how much pain you're in, because you can set somebody else up for murder.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ooh, got quiet up in here.
Come on. Come on.
We gotta hear this brother. And the minister said to me, when I tell the world, I'm gonna tell the world who Nipsey really was. That man was sent directly from God, brother.
Go ahead.
Look at this. Then said unto me, prophesy to the wind. Prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus said the Lord. And look at what happened. Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain. Look at the hood. How many of us been slain that they may live? So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet. What? An exceedingly great army. We saw this happen this week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all all right?
Yes,
Let's go to it. I'm going to skip. Because I want to show you
Yes, sir.
as we close. Brothers and sisters, the Bible is the book where Caucasians buried us in.
Go ahead now.
But they didn't give us the 26 keys to understanding the book, so we read it like a slave.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We take every word literally when it points to higher science.
Go ahead. Teach.
So the man who came from the east to teach Elijah Muhammad taught us the lies that's been put into the Bible that we won't be snared by it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is why no Christian theologian even want to debate members of the nation. I've been asking the preachers for a showdown.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
They won't come.
Teach.
Not to fight them, but to show them you don't understand the book right.
Go ahead.
So we seen this week As a result, Nipsey Hussle had transcended his hood.
Go ahead.
Nipsey was loved now in all of the hoods, black, brown. Yesterday, we saw Mexicans coming and paying homage.
Yes, sir.
We saw Asians coming and paying homage to Nipsey. We saw Armenians come paying homage to Nipsey. We saw the Tonga people. These right here, them big old Samoan like Tonga.
Go ahead.
They brought all water and food to Tonga. They called Tonga Crips. I said, damn, y'all cripping too.
Go ahead.
I mean, they so big, I'm like, damn. You need a bazooka to kill one of them. They were so big, man, and they came hugging me. I'm like, damn. Brothers, my security like, come on, brother, he's up on the minister. He's up on the minister. I said, damn, brother, if I had 10 like y'all, I'd slap the governor. Good, man. Beautiful. See, so I watched in the Holy Quran, remember, Surah 3, called the family of Amram. Look at what Allah said.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
3 days after Nipsey's death, the brothers started coming together. So Surah 3, verse 102 and 103, listen at how it reads. Allah said, and hold fast by the covenant of Allah all together and be not disunited.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The minister said to me, brother, go to every hood. Don't go to them asking them to join no nation. He said, miss me with that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He said, because we're maturing too to become Muslims. And at the right time, they'll know who we are.
Right. Come on. Go ahead.
He said, just go to every hood. Don't want nothing. We just come, brother, to just shake y'all hand, man. And that's what I've always done.
That's right.
I even asked them, how y'all throw your stuff? I throw their stuff. Oh, I love that part.
Go ahead.
I do it. Then I asked them for an honorary membership without the indoctrination. Brothers like, I don't know, we don't know about that minister. And they start like, we don't know about that minister. I love the hood, man. I don't care if it's a bomb landing in the street. I love that black man.
Go ahead.
That's what we're taught, man.
Yes, sir.
Them sisters on Figueroa, I love them.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And one day we're going to get strong. I'm telling you. We're going to get strong. And we're going to take them sisters from Figueroa from the pimps.
Go ahead.
All that's got to stop.
Yes.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So the minister said, go to every hood. He said, brother, do you know how Muhammad united Arabia?
Come on.
He told me, he said, Arabia, they were set tripping.
Come on. Come on.
Fighting each other, wouldn't join on with Muhammad.
Go ahead. Correct. Go ahead.
And the 33rd chapter of the Holy Quran is called the Allies. That the warring factions was warring, and all of a sudden, something happened that brought all the tribes together, but it was because Muhammad took a wife from each tribe and married into every tribe.
Go ahead. Think about it.
He said, no, I don't want you to do that. He said, but go marry your spirit with the spirit of the street.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And once you go to serve them, tend to my people, tend to the mothers who've lost their children to gang violence. They'll marry on to your spirit if after mine, brother. And that's what I've done. And in the nation, almost every brother in here is from some tribe that they married into this teaching.
Go ahead.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So look at this, and hold fast by the covenant of Allah altogether, and be not what?
Disunited.
And remember Allah's favor to you when you were enemies. But all of a sudden then, he united your heart by his favor. You became brethren. You were on the brink of a pit of fire. It was tense after Nipsey.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
They had a prayer vigil, and we came to the prayer vigil. I mean, it was so thick up in there, man. It was like anything could have erupted.
Yes, sir.
We had to come to class. The nation, we poured out and came back to the mosque, and all hell broke loose.
That's right. That's right. Come on.
We in class, I get a call from the mayor and the chief. Come on, police. Calling me directly. I'm like, what kind? Am I lying, brother?
No, sir.
I put him on speakerphone.
I'll be a witness. Go ahead.
I said, yes. Brother, this is the mayor. God said it. Brother Muhammad. Oh, I'm your brother? I'm being honest. Brother Muhammad, we need you. We need you to go back. Take the brothers. The police can't do this.
Go ahead.
I said, you realize that, huh? Now we got value with you, huh?
Go ahead.
Am I lying?
No, sir. No, sir.
I said, only, sir, only if you will put us in the vanguard position and let us tell the police, get back.
Go ahead. Peace.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. And then I said, sir, will your officers take advice from us? And the mayor said, Chief? Chief said, Brother Mohammed. I said, damn, I'm your brother too. In my mind. But they bowing to our value.
Every knee.
Because they can't do what we do.
Every knee shall bow. Go ahead.
He said, anything you suggest, we will do it. I said, well, we're going to need all of the proper resources to handle this.
Right.
And I said, sir, and watch, by God's grace, I want you to really observe us.
Right.
And watch what we do with no weapons.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
They agreed. We in the class, and when we walked, riot cops was everywhere.
Go
in the mighty FOI, man.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Look, when we got to the scene, riot cops out there grimacing in their face. When they seen us, it opened like the Red Sea.
Yes, sir. Back.
And we walked right through them.
Go ahead.
And our people was cheering, you know what?
Good.
I'm talking about now, Cracker Day Hill. Boy, it was humbling. I'm making light of it, but it was humbling.
Go ahead.
That all of our lives we gave for our people, man. Come on. For the first time, seemed like black people is appreciating the nation of Islam.
Go ahead now. Peace.
The next day, I met with the mayor, and he asked me, he said, brother, how is it? Please, how is it that the nation, you all doing, how is it that they'll just do whatever y'all ask?
Go ahead.
He said, you don't have weapons. I said, that's not true. I said, we have weapons, we just don't have your type of weapon. He said, what weapon you have? I said, our weapon is love. We love our people. I said, and over the years, even at them making mockery of us, we've allowed them to make mockery. We just keep on doing our work. They call us the beanie pies and whatever they call us.
That's all right.
I ain't gonna be now one of them sisters. We call our sister right this way. My sister, hold on. Don't be saying no ma'am to me, I ain't old. Y'all got that thing. You know, and sometimes y'all try to tempt us. We come to y'all door with the paper and you come kind of.
Right.
You got some of us, though. You got some. Y'all ready for this?
Yes, sir.
And you were on the brink of a pit of fire. And then he saved you from it. Thus Allah makes clear you his messengers. And from among you, there should be a party who invite good and enjoin the right and forbid the wrong.
Think about that.
And these are they who are the successful. That's what started taking place yesterday.
That's right. Go ahead.
All the homies start coming together, man. They start talking about a new movement.
Go ahead. Wow.
Play this video and then we going to show our respects to Nipsey.
Yes, sir.
I want to show you this verse is about to be demonstrated.
Go ahead.
I mean, over 40, 50 hoods came together, met in the parking lot to dry bone. Life was being breathed into them. Escorted by the Nation of Islam, we told the police, get out the way. This is our family coming together, the family of Amram. And when you were on the brink of a pit of fire, there God united their hearts. Look at them, here they come. Rolling 60s, A-Trade gangsters, they embraced for the first time in years. The Hoovers was there. Bloods was there, the Inglewood family. I mean, they're all coming. Look at everybody up for a while. Nation of Islam, all working together, and the press ain't said nothing about it. They keep giving the credit to the police. That's all right, God said. Oh, they were scared. I saw the police like this. I said, it's gonna be all right, go use the bathroom. Look at them. Hoods pouring in, man. Look at Nips. God will rise, y'all. That's who Nipsey Hussle is. That brother have done more in 33 years than most of us do in a lifetime. Go ahead. Came from Watts, man. He came out of Inglewood. They came in from Compton. They came in from Gardena, from Pasadena, from the IE. They came in, y'all. Now we gotta watch for the wicked, crooked deceivers from among us. Go ahead. Go ahead. We gotta kill envy. We gotta kill jealousy. Go ahead, go ahead. And these homies said, we would have never done this without the help of the Nation of Islam. All of them said. Thank you, Minister Farrakhan. That's great. It's time for us to unite, y'all. It's time. We can take LA.
That's right.
We just got to stop being a punk to Hollywood. Right. I told the mayor, I said, Mayor, I'm going to go talk to the record label. Because they have been aiding in us killing each other through music. I said, so when I show up, I'm taking the army to Sony. Go ahead. I'm taking the army to all of them record labels and tell them Jews, okay. Let me stop.
No, go ahead.
No.
Yes, sir.
Do something and say the nation say go do something. We ain't what we say.
That's right.
Look at this. Right in front of his business.
Beautiful.
Why did he have a business called a marathon?
Think about it.
See, where did he get that from? See, no thought comes to you but from God.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me show you where that word marathon fit in the Holy Quran.
Jeez.
See, it took a long time to bring this unity. It wasn't just no Tony Muhammad, no nation. It was the collective, all of us, the gang intervention, man. They've been at this for a long time. Long time. It took us 2 riots to get to this point.
Wow.
So in the Holy Quran, look at what Allah says in the Holy Quran. Is that the one I'm looking for? Oh, no, that's it. Before I go to that, in the 49th surah called the apartment, this is, in that particular surah, God tells us how our conduct should be with one another. A grace from Allah and a favor. And Allah is knowing wise. And if 2 parties of the believers, but let's say the hood, and if 2 parties of the believers, hood, quarrel, make peace between them.
That's right. That's right.
Then, if one of them does wrong to the other, fight that which does wrong. Till it return to Allah's command. then if it returns, make peace between them with justice and act equitably. Surely Allah loves the equitable. The believers are brethren, so make peace between your brethren and keep your duty to Allah, that mercy may be had. We've been doing that for years. And I close with the marathon. What is a marathon? A marathon is different from a sprint.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's what's wrong with most of us. We want to run life in a sprint.
Right.
Life ain't a sprint, man. It's a marathon.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And it's at a far distance. So look at what Allah said in the 9th surah, verse 42. Had it been a near game and a short journey, they would certainly have followed thee. But the hard journey was too long for them. And they would swear by Allah, if we had been able, we would have gone forth with you. They caused their own soul to perish. And Allah knows that they are liars. And if you go look at Nipsey's interview,
Come on.
he said, man, I keep my grind on. I keep my hustle on no matter what happened, because I know this is a marathon.
Go ahead.
See? People may say, this peace ain't going to happen. Yes, hell it is, because it's going to be a marathon. Everybody ain't going to heal overnight. It's still some gunners out there that want to play.
Right. Go ahead.
But if the majority of us say it's going to be peace, if one gunner get out of control, we're going to have to tap him a little bit.
Right. Go ahead.
So we thank you, Allah, for sending our way this great giant.
Yes, right.
And through him, the collective God will rise.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brothers and sisters, and may Allah bless you. As I greet you in peace, assalamu alaikum. Don't go nowhere. I want to ask you a question. We want you to, don't go nowhere. We want you to meet us in a few minutes. Go ahead of us, and you're going to watch. We would like for you to witness the nation, how we on our own. Nipsey Hussle was one of us.
That's right. Go ahead.
I thank this brother for throwing rocks at the police when they fought against the nation.
Go ahead.
I thank him for doing what he's doing for his hood. He wanted freedom for his hood and his people. He wanted justice and he wanted equality. So you're going to see the nation of Islam, and we're a real nation. We may not look like it to you.
Go ahead.
Don't no government give us nothing. Right now, we are in the midst of buying up this whole block. Everything on that side of the street, all the way back.
Go ahead.
We're going to do it with our own little nickels and dimes. We don't want nothing from these crackers.
Go ahead.
They should give us. And if they do, we'll accept it, but with no strings attached. None. And don't you let nobody drop no lie on you about us.
Go ahead.
See, in the nation of Islam, if a brother come to another brother with some negative news, he have to bring that brother with him.
Say that. Go ahead.
Or he get put out of our group.
Go ahead.
If a sister say something to a sister, say, did you see what she said? Sister will say, hold up, sister. Get her.
Bring it in. Go ahead.
Some of the sisters in the nation looking at me, y'all like y'all didn't know that. But why don't you practice it?
Yes, sir.
Brothers?
Yes, sir.
No, but that's how I'm giving you what the nation, I'm giving you our rules.
Yes, sir.
That keeps us from hurting each other in ignorance. So today, watch how we honor Nipsey in our honor God salute to this giant. And Minister Farrakhan said, brother, God have shown me through Los Angeles that we're going to be prophecy.
Praise be to Allah.
That's good. Those of you who know, have studied, know what that means. Then he said, brother, keep your integrity because LA ain't going to want for nothing.
Go ahead.
He said, they are talking about you right now in the White House.
Jeez. Go ahead.
About what you all have done. You mesmerized the world. He said, so what the believers have suffered is about to be over.
Yes, sir.
All you had to do is hold on. Clean up. Let God purify you, but he ain't gonna purify you out of osmosis. He gonna purify you with another disgruntled believer. That's gonna rub you the wrong way.
Go ahead.
So that you'll know what you need to kill within yourself.
Yes, sir.
God said if you was an angel, I would have sent you one.
Yes, sir.
But I brought you up from the fiery furnace of niggerdom. It's a Cat Williams word. See? Come on, brothers and sisters in the nation. Let's be the example for our people.
Yes.
That we can show them that we practicing. Have we become Muslims? Only Allah knows. But we're trying to practice our Islam.
Go ahead.
How many of you, this is your first time coming to a Nation of Islam meeting? Would you raise your hand? Wow. How many of you believe that what you heard today is the truth and good for us as a people?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's big.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm getting ready to ask you a powerful question. Because it's time now to see what we are made of. You know, Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz was lost from her home.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And in order to get back home, she had to walk what? The yellow brick road. But on the yellow brick road, she ran into some attitudes. First attitude she ran into was a scared Negro. I mean, scarecrow.
Good.
And that scared Negro, scared scarecrow, didn't have no backbone.
Yeah.
Right?
Go ahead.
They were off to see the wizard. The wonderful Wizard of Farrakhan. Oz.
Right. Go ahead.
And the wizard said, you need a what? A brain. Meaning you didn't have enough knowledge of who you are in order to stand erect. That's why you watch the members in the nation. We don't lean on walls.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We stand upright. Huh? We're not spineless.
Go ahead now.
You don't watch. Police do not bother us. They ride. We be in the middle of the street, interrupting everything.
Ah.
He still go right by us.
Straight facts. Come on.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So do you want a new brain?
Yes, sir.
Then the next attitude, as they was walking, here come a fake homie. Like he was a lion. Huh?
Go ahead.
But the lion had a problem with his attitude. He didn't have no courage to fight the white man.
Go ahead.
He had enough courage to kill his own.
Right.
But he didn't have no courage to go up in Brentwood doing none of that.
Right.
He don't even take his Lolo up there. We get around the white man and I watch killers meow. Huh? Go to prison. That white man said, open your mouth, bend over, spread up. So here, the teachings of Islam brings out the militant propensity in you. Huh? So the Oz, Farrakhan said, the only thing the homies need is courage, man. Islam gives you courage. Thank you, Allah, for the courage. And then you're not always courageous. Fear comes up in us. You have to challenge it. I ask you the question. As we travel on, we walk to a scared Negro who had got stuck. You remember those pictures a few years ago? Y'all was doing the mannequin challenge?
Right.
But a gang member did a mannequin challenge. They had guns and the fool showed the damn drivers the license plate to his car and all of them got arrested. But the mannequin challenge, you had to freeze in your movement, right?
Right.
That's the Tin Man.
Right.
All he had to do was reach. That was a mosque. That was a can of oil.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Right near him.
Jeez.
All he had to do is reach and get the nation's the oil.
All you got to do. Go ahead.
It was a book, Message to the Black Man, right there. But we are nation. Drinking liquor, nation. Pardon, put in my pants, a nation.
Go ahead.
They don't have no fun. Let me tell y'all something. Oh, we party up in
Go
this
ahead. Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something. Ain't now one of y'all.
Damn.
That's what I said. Get higher than those of us. I'm high right now.
Good.
But I'm not high on some artificial weed.
Good.
I'm high because I know who God is.
Good.
I know who the devil is. Damn it, I know who I am.
Good.
I'm high there. I'm smoking Islam. I'm smoking the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Good.
How many of you right now, without fear, want to learn more about who you are? Join on with us and follow Minister Farrakhan. Let's go get our people.
Yes.
Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Come on, man.
Stand up, brother. Stand up. Don't make me come get you.
Yes.
In fact, come down. Come down. Let me shake your hand on behalf of the minister. Brothers, I want to shake all y'all hands. Come down. Come on, y'all. Give them a hand. Stand right here, sis. Come on, y'all. Give them a hand. Come on, y'all. It's time to join on to your own. Come on down. Let's show the white man we're going to unite. Come on down. Let's stop fighting for the whitey and join the army of your own.
That's right. Come on.
Come on down. Come on down, brother. Anybody in the back? Anybody in the parking lot? Go get them brothers hanging on the corner.
Get him.
Knock the weed out their hand and bring them in here. Come on, sis. Come on, y'all. Give a hand now, sis. Real quick. Wow. Look at our family. Look at our family. Look at our family. Look at our family. They're still coming. Long live the spirit of Brother Nipsey Hussle.
Yes, sir.
Say it with me. Long live the spirit of Brother Nipsey Hussle.
Yes, sir.
Long live the spirit of Brother Nipsey Hussle. He is the embodiment and the spirit of all 25,000.
Go ahead. Go
Their
ahead.
collective life gave life to this movement. He ain't dead.
That's right.
He's alive in every one of
Come
us.
on.
I'm tired. Aren't you tired of us killing us?
Yes, sir.
My sisters, we have a class that the women in the nation go to is separate from the men, and no men can enter into that class.
Right.
But in that class, they're not taught to hate their black man or their brown man. They are taught what happened to him. We believe that no nation can rise any higher than its woman. That's what we believe. And we try to practice it. Don't get me wrong, we still a little stoned from the world, so every now and then we slept.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We believe that the woman is the co-creator with God. But when you close ranks with God, 75% of the teachings of the Nation of Islam is with the female.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's facts.
Because God said, when the woman get right, a hood get right.
That's right.
Now that's real, because you're the mother of our children.
Go ahead.
So when you close rank with God, don't come in here looking for no man. Ain't there a man in here yet.
Right.
Ain't but one man in the nation, and the rest of us trying to be like that man.
Right.
His name is Louis Farrakhan.
Go ahead.
Nah, that's real. The rest of us, we are damaged goods. We may look good, but we like a used car. You don't know where the dents are. You don't know where the accidents are.
True.
But if you get right with God, don't worry about no man, and he'll add everything you need to you.
Go ahead.
Because no nation can rise any higher than this woman.
None.
I'm so honored to be your brothers, sisters. And if you all let us, when you go into that class, ask all your questions. Not in the Nation of Islam. These women don't walk behind us. These are warriors.
Yes.
They are females, but they are fighters. They are sisters, but they soldiers.
Go ahead.
They're women, but they're warriors.
Go ahead.
You see these headpieces? They'll choke the hell out of you. They pumps on the ground, but they'll take them heels off and put your eyes out. They come from all walks of life. Am I lying, sisters? We come from what? All walks of life. We've been everything.
All of them.
Everything.
But God cleaned them up, polished them up. So go to your class.
Come on now.
What's your name? Amira. Shirley, Sister Shirley, excuse me. And you are sis? Latrina. Oh my God. I mean, I don't care what pains were in your past. God will change you in the twinkling of an eye. That's right. Because He want to remove that. Sisters, y'all been in pain for a long time.
Come on, come on.
Every other ethnic group, the men, the black woman has been the most loyal to her black man.
Go ahead now.
But the sociologists say among the men, black men are quick. We're the first one to leave our women for others.
Man.
You in pain. Oh, but we changing that. That's right. Black ain't a color. That's right. So if you brown, red, you still black. You black. And black is the essence of which all color comes from.
Right.
So in the nation, we believe in the 17 million with the 2 million.
I was told to deliver this message.
You are missionary.